Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Here I am with another car review. What did I bring? I bought a 2009 370Z Nissan. Now what's significant about this car? As you all know, Zs have been the iconic sports car in the Japanese segment. Why? They have a short wheelbase, they're rear wheel drive, and they make decent power. From 240s to 260s to 280s to the 90s where Nissan created the infamous Z32, which is a twin turbo setup. They also made a non-turbo, which if you see one on the road, most likely you'll run into that one. But they did make a twin turbo setup, which is iconic for the amount of power that it made in the 90s. 300 horsepower from the twin turbo setup. But after that, Nissan fell off with the Zs a little bit to concentrate more on the consumer sales of sedans and trucks. But then they brought back the iconic sports car in 2003 with the 350Z. Now the 350Z was a great car, made 276 horsepower. They bumped it up to 306 in 2006, but then it got a lot of bashing. And the reason why it did get a lot of bashing was for the interior. The interior on the car was cheap and plasticky. A lot of people, a lot of car reviewers criticized the interior, but other than that, the drivetrain was great, the motor was great, the fact it was rear wheel drive, and it was a heavy car for its time. But then Nissan went back to the drawing board and realized that they needed to make a sports car that had great interior, a great car, and great build quality, which is why they went to the Z34. Now the Z34, like I said, is a 370Z, infamous for its VQ motor, 3.7 liter with 332 horsepower to the crank outside the factory, which is significant for a V6. Majority of cars now are supercharged and turbocharged that don't even make this amount of power from the factory. For instance, Audis with the 2.0Ts. Of course, it's a smaller motor with smaller displacement. But again, you have a naturally aspirated V6 that makes 332 horsepower, which is significant for its time. All right, well, this car has a number of mods on it too. It looks fairly stock, and it is, but it's got, of course, it's known for that VQ rumble, that VQ distinctive exhaust note. But my friend Mark, who let me borrow his car today, took it a step further with a Stilling catback exhaust, and also enhancing that sound and free exhaust flow. We do have Burke's test pipes on this car as well, with the K&N air filter, and also swift lowering springs. The car's lowered about maybe an inch from stock, so it's not too aggressive, but it's a little bit more firm than stock as well to handle corners very well. But you know what I want to do right now? I want to drive this car. I want to experience it. I've been wanting to drive a 370 for the longest time, and we're going to get to it. So let's go. All right. Now I'm in the 2009 370Z. And as you can tell, this thing is loud. Okay, I got it quiet a little bit. So, driving the car a little bit, already I can tell that it's totally tight. You feel very, very planted in the car. You feel like everything is cocooned to you. Everything's cocooned to you. Like, the gauges are all to you, as far as with the tacking in the middle and with the miles per hour being on the side. Then you have this digital fuel gauge on the left, which is kind of cool too. And like I said, you can definitely hear that VQ rumble. And as you can see from the shift pedals, it's an automatic. again, that's what you get with the still in cap back with the Burke's test pipe. So. There's no way for you to be discreet with this exhaust at all. You gotta really be careful because we live in New York City and you can get an exhaust ticket for your exhaust being too loud. So he can never drive in Manhattan with something like this. Not with the setup that it's got, but it makes really good power. It's because of the fact that now there's no restrictions. There's no restrictions on airflow with anything. This thing's got a lot of drone to it though. One thing I know I like about this car already, it's got great power feedback in any gear. Like I'm in fifth. It's got great power. It's torque. It's not a torque box. Not on it and you're driving like a normal human being, this automatic has 7 gears. Once you're in 7th gear, it's fine, but you really can't put your foot in it because I'm in 7th. If I put my foot in it, you get that. But again, Mark really doesn't care. He says, Jay, he doesn't. I really don't care about the drone because he wanted the car to be as loud as possible, and with this exhaust, he definitely succeeded. Now, I want to talk about the transmission for a minute. Yes, it's not a dual clutch. Yes, it's not a manual. It's a 7-speed automatic that they matched up with the VQ motor in this car. And might I say, it's not bad, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, it's an automatic. The upshifts are a little sluggish, but when you get the downshifts, rev matching. Oh, man. First gear in this car, for being practically stock, it's useless. You're gonna spin in first, and then the traction control just cuts the power. Of course, you turn traction control off, but then you just roast the tires until you have no tires left. So that wouldn't be necessarily the ideal thing to do. I'll tell you one thing, these springs feel great. It's faster than that. I just don't want to put my foot in it. It's very loud, and I'm in a very urban area, and I really don't want to get a ticket. All right, guys, I'm gonna do one pull, and then I'm not gonna do it anymore. Let's get on this. Let's talk about this power, shall we? Watching this review of my friend's 2009 370Z Nissan. Shout out to Mark, this is his car. Thank you very much for letting me do the review on your Nissan today. And he said he's in school all day, so he let me borrow it for the entire day. Thank you, I appreciate it. Remember, share the link and subscribe. The channel is JR14. And like I said, I have a 370Z for the day, so I'm about to go ahead and enjoy this. So, take care.